Hello guys and girls and welcome back. It's your boy Big John. That's at the bottom of the screen. If you like to listen to my music, so is all the relevant information I'll be speaking about in this video. And today what I'm going to be doing is showing you how you can understand market structure better. Now this is a price action trading strategy and it's going to give you a full mastery course on understanding how I was able to make $1,000 from a gold trade using market structure. I'm also going to be showing you how you can use this for day trading, swing trading, and scalping, which is perfect. And don't forget, you can join up the one-time fee VIP group by simply messaging me on Discord or Telegram. All the information for that will be in the description below. This is what I go over every Sunday in my Zoom calls, explaining how the markets will be looking for the week ahead. So we have possible trade setups, and it will get any beginners into at least an intermediate or advanced stage in terms of trading if you stick around for long enough. So with all of that being said, guys and girls, let's get this video to 500 likes. This is a lot of information I'm going to be giving out here, and whatever you do not skip this video. If you're skipping parts, you're going to be missing out massive information, and at some point I'm going to be showing you exactly how I caught the $1,000 trade. So now let's get straight onto the video.
Started from the bottom like Drake, got that young moolah but I learned my mistakes. Climbing up the ladder, gotta watch out for the snakes. If you wanna be the boss, then you have to delegate.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to pay attention to here is trends. This is what people need to understand. It's basically the four phases in the market I talk about all the time, but what we're seeing here is a bit more of a simplified method of it, and this is what the market is doing. There are four things the market will do every single day without fail. That will be, it will create a higher high, a higher low, lower high, lower low. In whichever order it decides to do that in is determined by the trend of that pair on that time frame. And this is so important because it's literally right now you're looking at the skeleton of the market. This is the skeleton. Everything else starts to build up from here, but in terms of structure, this is what the market does without fail every single day it trades. And we can see now, if you're in an uptrend, you're going to be looking at the market going from lows to highs to creating a higher low, then creating another higher high. Now, the reason of this is because once it creates this higher low, this is where we're going to be looking for buy trade entry points, and we're expecting this buy trade to break this high, the previous high. That means that we are starting to see an uptrend forming every single time these highs are getting taken out. Now, when we're in a downtrend, which is a sell trend or a bearish trend, we'll be looking for the market to be creating a high and then a lower low. And what we want to see is a lower high being formed where our entry points will be, and we want the market to break the previous lower low. This means we're in a downtrend and we'll be looking for sells in the market from there. Now, when you're in a consolidated market, what seems to happen is you start to get lows and highs forming back to back, meaning you're going to be getting equal highs and equal lows. So what happens is a lot of scalpers, they will trade from this low to this high and from this high to this low. They won't really be paying attention to the trend of the market. What they're trying to trade right now is the consolidated market and catching high and low entries. So we have a better idea of what's actually going on here in the market. This is how your trade setups will be looking on average. So when you're looking for sell trades, you're expecting the market to create a resistance level. It's not always going to be a double top like what you can see here. So that's one tap here, another tap here to a resistance level. Sometimes it will be a bit lower on this side, or it could even be a bit higher. It all depends on how they move the market, but there's ways we'll be able to figure this out, and more courses I can do in future. But when you see a setup as simple as this, a double top, then the market breaks the structural low, which is the lower low you can see here. Then we see this breakout. What we are waiting for is a retest to this breakout area for us to catch our continuation of our sell trade over here. Not here, over here, when it comes back towards the old level where the low was. That's where you get your better entries in your trades. Now, this is another idea of looking at it from a buyer's perspective, and this time you can at least see it with the candlesticks on the chart. So you can see the same thing happened here. We had multiple taps to a low level, creating a support. Even though we saw breakouts from here and it looked like it was going to continue to sell, we saw the market pulled back. So now you're seeing a sideways consolidated market, and these are the best markets to see when we're looking for a new trend to happen. If you're starting to see accumulation distribution, now when we see this sideways market, we're expecting a huge breakout for a buy or for a sell. Of course, in this picture, we can see there was a huge breakout for a buy and price went to a resistance level up here. Now, again, where would we be looking for our entry? On the higher low here, when price comes back to the support area. We can clearly see the market had broken structure, and then we're looking for our entry here. I'm going to be showing you how this looks on a chart and exactly how I was able to catch a trade using the simple basic idea of this type of trading. Okay, so now I'm on gold, and this works on absolutely anything. People need to understand that. I do show gold a lot because I know people love to trade gold and they're fascinated on how they could trade it. I'm showing you no indicators here, just pure price action with market structure. So we want to do our top-down analysis, and a good place to start with top-down analysis, I always tell people, is from the daily time frame. You can go up further if you need to, but right now we only need to use the daily time frame in order for us to find where any market structure areas were previously to show us where the market at present might stop for a reversal and a buy trade coming in or a sell trade about to happen. So now let's just pay attention to where we are over here. So we can see on the right, we are around this area here in the market, and we're going to be paying attention to this first. This is what actually gave us the setup for the possible buy trade that we did catch here, which did actually work out. In order for us to figure out if the market was going to stop at this area over here, now we just needed to go over to our left and we had to draw some support levels. And we can see previously on the daily time frame, this level over here was a higher low being formed. As you can see, the market pulled up, pulled back, and continued to buy. So this was a structural level over here that we marked out as a possible support for the future. And then there was another one over here and another one over here. So we have 1680 marked out as a strong resistance level. As you can see, the market failed so many times on the daily time frame to break this level, then eventually held as a support when it was above it. So we can see this is a super strong key level, and it's part of the reason as to why this is marked out with this thick gray line. So let's go back over to the present, and what we're going to do is head down to the 15-minute time frame, which is a great time frame for you to be able to catch entries on your scalp trades, your day trades, or your swing trades. Okay, so this is fantastic. So you can see our first level here below 1680 did appear at about 1643, which was a previous support level on the daily time frame. And we can see how the market behaved here. So when the market came to this level, our main focus was just to see the market either break out from this level, or what we wanted to actually see a trend line being formed. So I'm going to go more into trend lines as time goes on. So if we're paying attention to the trend line here, we can see a trend line started to form here, and the idea of our trend line would have started to form like this. This is what we were trying to pay attention to. So we can see the market did do a huge buy off of this level. So right over here would have been our first break of structure level. And from this break of structure level, we would have been expecting the market to come back to here and retest this level for a buy. But we want to pay attention to one key thing when we've got a retest on any of these levels. We want to make sure that we're seeing a bullish candle here, preferably an engulfing candle, something that looks big, not as big as this, but just big enough from this level here, and then we're going to get an entry. So an idea of that would be something like this. If that candle never broke that level, or even if the market pushed back through and then we saw a bullish candle that appeared like this, we would have been looking for an entry on a trade with our stop loss just below this structural level, which is the break of structure level. And then we would have been heading for our take profit up towards the highs over here, you see? Which is a great trade, which is a 4.42 trade. I always tell you to trade 1 to 4 risk to reward. But this is, of course, what we didn't see. So let's just move forward from here. So what we actually saw is the market break through this level and continue to stay down. Notice how this is a strong level because the market decided to stay below this level and never broke back through it to give us our retest. So we would not have been looking for any entries in this area. There was no reason for it because the market hasn't shown us that it's starting to go into an uptrend. So we would have just left it from that point of view, waiting for our next possible entry. Now we can see our next key level is down here that I've marked out. So when the market did come to this key level down here, what did we see? We saw the same thing occur here. Look at the trend line. We had 1 tap, 2 taps, and now we've got a trend line that can be established that can go all the way up here in future to give us any more possible re-entries on the trade. We can keep doing that until the market actually breaks this level and stays below it. We can see our next break of structure area is there. I'll just mark this out for us. Right over here, we can see our next break of structure level. And this is what we was paying attention to. You could either use the body of the candle or the wicks. I'm starting to notice that if you use the wicks, you get a bit more of a better entry. And then we can see here, we did have a wick right over here. We saw our breakout. We saw our retest to this area. Yes, it did break back through, but now look, we're starting to see one bullish candle here, and then we saw the bullish candle I was telling you about. A nice engulfing bullish candle off of this area to tell us that the market could be going up. That's what we want to look for. Now we're starting to see buyers are coming into the market. If we look at this from a point of view from what the bankers are seeing, is there is loads of orders in this area right now. Of course, we can see that because of the huge move. So just like how you see it on MT4, you know, if you was to open loads of 0.01s and you were looking for a buy trade to hold it like that, this is what's happening here. So there's loads of retail orders, plus even the bankers and the big players, hedge funds, etc. They have their orders between this level. So they wanted to make sure they did a liquidity grab in towards here to grab liquidity to go at full force to push the market up in such a big move. Only they can make huge moves like this. We don't have the power to do that as retail traders. And for the entry of this trade, again, you will just have your entry on the breakout of that candle. So as soon as that candle closed, that big candle, your stop loss just below these lows here. And we're just going for a 1 to 4 trade. So we can see here, we had our nice 1 to 4 trade, which is a perfect starters risk to reward ratio for trade setups. You can do 1 to 2, you can do 1 to 1 even if you want to. I just prefer to do 1 to 4 or more. I'm starting to even look into 1 to 10s now, so I've got better chances of losing trades and then having my eventual breakout and still being profitable at the end of the week or the end of the month. So all of that's happened, all of that's occurred. Notice how the market pulled back to the previous level it never broke before and held that level. So this was even giving you a sign from the simple way I've drawn this out that there could be a possible re-entry for the buy over here, and we can even just go over that as well whilst we're here. So again, the same type of things happen. We can see that the market had created a new level of structure here, which was a lower high in this downtrend. And then if the market was going to break this level and give us a retest, we could be seeing a possible buy. Look what happens. We see the market had broken out of this level here. We've seen this bullish candle did form here. And then this time, what I would have suggested is that your stop loss was below this level. Why below this level and not this level is look how close price action is to this breakout. People might be saying, hey, John, you're being picky. You're only saying that because you can see that this had happened before. So we're looking for the market to go 1 to 4 right here. Cool. So even if I did pick that because of quote unquote cherry picking, as people would say, it's okay. If that trade did hit stop loss because of this candle over here, then you still had a new entry when you saw this candle breaking up here. So let's just put it here. So again, it's not cherry picking, and let's just see how the trade played out. So we still was able to hit a 1 to 4 trade and a continuation of this trend from down here and another entry here. This is how you can start to catch entries and re-entries even if you are missing the first entry from a lower time frame. Here you go, I'm just showing you. This is why this is a master's guide into seeing what's actually happening with price action. So now let me show you how this looks with a sell trade setup. So the same thing actually had occurred, and we're just going to head over to our daily time frame here where we can see the sell started to happen. And when we go over to our daily time frame, again, we would have been looking at resistance levels. So our first one was 1680, which you see the market smash straight through anyway. Okay, now it's done that. Where's our next daily resistance levels? We can see there was one right over here. There was another one here. And there's another one up here. So we have, again, 3 possible areas where we could look for reversals for a pullback sell or a complete sell downtrend. We can see the overall picture on this market, even from a daily perspective, is a downtrend. So we can expect a sell to possibly be a big sell trade back down. And now let's head back down into our 15-minute time frame. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. So we can see the market is breaking above this level and it looks like it could go either way. So we're going to be patient. We want to draw our trend line, but in a downtrend. And for us to do that, we need to see a downtrend being formed. So now we can see the market came here, sold down, came here, created a lower high, which a downtrend is starting to form. We can see this low down here had been taken out. So we can see definitely it looks like a downtrend is forming. Now they did this spike up to make you think that the market could be buying back up. But look what happens when this candle closes and turns bearish. Now we're in a position where we have our trend line, you see? So now we've got a trend line we've drawn from here to here. We've got 2 taps and we can draw this trend line all the way until the future. And you can already see the power of what's going to happen here, but I will show you this step by step so you can understand what's going on. So now we would have put our break of structure level over here. We're not doing no skipping here, guys and girls. We're making this make sense. So you can see from that area here, now we was looking for a retest towards this area for a possible sell trade. Of course, unfortunately, when we did get our sell candle break back out, this was a losing trade. So some scalpers would have made money there, but it was a losing trade overall. It didn't give us a 1 to 4. It was either a losing or a break-even trade. So we get out of that. That's okay, because remember, none of this would have existed. I don't want people to think you're only looking at this because of how it looked. No, the market would have looked like this. None of that over towards the right would have existed, but what did exist is our trend line that we did draw. So our trend line is helping us. So people say trend lines don't work and all this type of stuff. Okay, tell me why this is working this time. Everything's going to have a win and loss ratio. It just depends on your risk to reward. That's how you trade any strategy. So now we can see the market did obviously come back to this level, rejected again. And what do we have over here? So this was the old break of structure level here, based on what we're seeing from here going through to here. Now we have another break of structure level right over here. So now we can see over here, the market's creating structure. We can see it right here. And then it even pinpointed down here, came back up here. And then what did we see? We saw a break of that structure level. So that structure here, that structural low had been broken. Our break of structure level would have been here. So now when the market pulled back to this area again and rejected, we've seen a rejection even lower than this candle, the close of this candle. Look at the rejection. Now we would have easily put our short position in here on this candle, stop loss above this level. And again, we're going for our 1 to 4 trade. And this did take a bit of time, but eventually with this candle here, we caught our 1 to 4 break out trade, which was what we was after. We see that now. And of course, this went even further than a 1 to 4. It went all the way down here. You can see how far this went. So this was like a 1 to 15 trade on what I'm showing you. The market's not going to do this every single day. When it does give you these setups, remember, you're making 1 to 15 on some of these trades. So you don't need it to happen every single day. You can lose multiple trades in a row and then still win this trade. This is all dependent on you making sure you keep your lot size the same over a period of a couple of weeks or at least a month, I would say. And don't try and up your lot size until you've managed to make a good month's worth of winners, and then you might up your lot size just a little bit more the next month. Don't go too far, and this is how you can start to see growth on your account. So guys and girls, I've literally shown you a full breakdown of how you could have caught the buy and the sell trade. Now for the next chapter, I'm going to show you how you'll be able to trade like this on the higher time frames. So now when we go on to the 1 hour time frame, yes, you still had a trend line here, but remember that was established from the 15-minute time frame. But what we did see over here, again, is what, guys and girls? We saw our break of structure level, and then we saw our breakout of that level. So you can see on the higher time frame, which is the 1 hour for my day traders, people that don't have as much time as scalpers to find these super tight entries. Now you've still got a patient setup on a day trading strategy where you've seen the breakout here, you've seen a pullback, but you've seen a continuation of this momentum towards the bullish side. So we would have been entering our position here, stop loss below that breakout candle and looking for a 1 to 4 trade. And of course, even though this did take a couple of days, we did hit our 1 to 4 trade over here. You see? So the same thing happens when you look at it from a day trading perspective. And now if you're looking at this from a swing trader's perspective, yes, you would have been a bit more patient, but what happens? It's a lot more clear. Remember, here's where our daily level was of support, and we also had a break of structure level above that level. This also constituted to this trade being a good demand trade because price action had such a huge move. This was considered a demand setup between this level from here to here. And you'll see how this also helped me give out the $1,000 trade that I'm speaking about. So here again, nice and clear, you can see this break of structure. You can see the retest towards this level, and then you can see the continuation of this trade going up. And how would you have entered this trade? The same thing on the close of that bullish candle, because we can see a rejection off of that level. And then we're looking for a 1 to 4 trade, which our 1 to 4 was established around this area here, which was perfect for us. Now, when we look at the sell trade, it was a bit different, but it still worked for us. We can see over here, we had a break of structure level here. this candle still broke this structure and we had a retest right over here. So this is how you would have still caught the sell trade, even if you was looking at it from a day trader's perspective. This is why people got to understand you can still scalp, day trade and swing trade nice and easy as long as you pay attention to market structure. And I'm sure by now you're starting to see how this is actually showing the skeleton of the market. And for all of those that have stuck by all the way up to here, you are real OGs and I appreciate you. Remember, let's try and get this video to 500 likes. I'm giving out a lot of information on how the market moves. Yes, this is basic information, but not everybody is showing you step by step like this, and especially even on gold and how it can work on gold, and it works again on any currencies. You can do this on indices, currencies, metals, oil, everything. Just pay attention to the structure. And again, if you wanted to catch this on the 4-hour time frame, let's just pay attention to what we see here. So we can see our structural low is here. We can see this is where our structural low is. The market came through here, faked out, stayed below that level. Then we saw this bearish engulfing candle here as well, giving us another trigger on the 4-hour time frame. And now we would have taken this trade like this. Our stop loss would have just been above that level, just slightly. And then again, we're looking for a 1 to 4 trade. So I've shown you how you could have taken the buy and the sell trade, whether you was scalping, swing trading or day trading, you would have been able to catch these two setups. And this was a sell setup I actually did give out as well to all the people in my Discord group in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory area. Now we're going to go over to the actual trade and the simple entry that I gave out to every single person in order for them to capture this trade and get these pips last Friday. So whilst we're here, just so all people understand, if you want to know how to draw your daily levels, weekly levels, or monthly levels, 4-hour levels, whatever it might be, I show people in this price action video over here how to draw those levels. If you are somebody that has watched this video and this video is getting a lot of views and likes and stuff like that, head over to this video and make sure you give that a like and a comment and stuff like that as well. Say that you watched this from the price action mastery course. I love it if you do, guys and girls. Please help me out. Let's get this channel booming. When we go into Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in my Discord, this is just below the general hangout where you can talk, and this is all free. None of this is paid. Only the VIP group is a one-time paid free, which I do suggest you get into, because again, it's a one-time fee and it's for life, and it will be going up soon as well. It's going to go up to $34.99, which is more than worth it because I've got Zoom call signals, trade alerts as well. So there's an alert system that actually tells you when the market is doing all of these breaks of structure throughout all of the pairs. There's an alert system in the Telegram group that is doing that. So all of this can be cut down, and that's how I trade them. I cut my time down by using that system. But you can see the trade here straight away. We did have this set up. I told people that, look, it's gone to a support level, demand zone. This is what we're expecting, a pushback up if it rejects off this level. I also gave this out in the My Forex Funds group. I will show you proof of the next trade in My Forex Funds after. So we can see that first trade did occur here. Very simple setup, same type of idea. Let's just pay attention to what actually happened on the lower time frame. So now we're on the 15-minute time frame, and exactly what I've taught you before. This time we had a demand zone already here, so we didn't have to worry too much about our trend line, but we can still put a trend line here and see how it fared. Now we can see the market is going up there. We can also see our break of structure level here, and we wanted a pullback to that level. So you can see that there was a breakout of this level, a pullback to this level, a bullish engulfing candle off of this level, and here's where your entry would have been. Exactly how I've taught you before, you see? And then you would have been able to take your trade all the way up to here, which again was more than a 1 to 4. So you can see how you would have been able to trade this during the course of this month, just like this. Very good month October has been for gold, especially when it comes to structure. Overall, the reason why I show gold a lot of the time is gold really does respect structure. Once you learn how to trade gold properly, you'll be able to trade like this. The problem is because people can trade gold with such small money. They believe that they should be using small money to make huge flips in gold, whereas if you actually control your risk management and trade gold and treat it with some type of, you know, risk, I would say risk respect is the best way for me to put it, then you're in a position where you can actually grow your account from trading gold, because again, it's one of the best things that respects market structure. And this is exactly how the market moves on a day-to-day basis. So again, you would have caught that trade over there. So now here's where the big trade actually occurred. So the market obviously looked like this, and there was no way of us knowing what would have happened next in the market. But what I did see is the market was heading back down to this demand area where we saw the market has done a huge buy off of before. This is where you can also see I took that trade. You see the trade I just explained to you. I had a bit of a tighter entry. I was paying attention to the demand zone and I took it from there. Now we can see straight away from here, I've said that the market has come back to this level, and it did form another demand zone here, which wasn't held. We was more paying attention to the demand zone down here and was paying attention to this break of structure because we wanted to get the trade on the other side, giving us more of an idea that it's actually buying at the moment. And here you can see the clear proof of how I posted this idea of this trade before in the My Forex Funds trade ideas group as well. So make sure you hit up My Forex Funds if you do want to see my trade. So not only in my Discord, when I get these gold setups, because I'm giving it out to everyone for free and there's a lot more people in here than there's in my Discord, I also put in here for people to be able to catch this trade setup. So everybody would have been able to make 4 to 5% off of this trade call out on their prop firm account, just because I've literally shown people, hey, look, here's a whole trade setup with a stop loss and a take profit. Of course, they would have had to enter how they chose, but it was there for them to be able to take. So when we do go into this trade, my main focus and what I told everybody to pay attention to was the break of structure level here. There was a break of structure level that was a resistance level that turned into a new support. Now, as we can see, the market was failing to break this level, which was at the time the Asian high. It was failing to break that level. And I told every single person, wait till it breaks this level, because we can see this is market structure after the demand zone. This is market structure. And if it breaks here, then we could be seeing a continuation of a buy. Now, of course, what they did is they went for a liquidity grab. So they decided to bring the market lower than this level because they wanted to take out all the orders here, and they wanted to make sure they activated the orders. Remember what I told you, at these levels, there's loads of orders, including their own. So there was all of their orders hidden in between here. When I say their orders, I'm talking about hedge funds, banks, etc. Even our orders as well were all in here. So they wanted to make sure they got rid of all of the stop losses there and activated everybody's orders as well, and even their own, and wanted to push price. So our main interest was paying attention to what was happening here, again with a break of structure level. The market eventually broke this level in New York with the news, and then we would have entered this trade. Now, of course, this trade did not pull back towards this area, but we was looking at this level that was held for a long period of time. So that was already telling us that this is a strong resistance level, and the market really shouldn't pull back below this level. But even if so, we've seen this, then we've seen this pull back here, which didn't touch this level. That's absolutely fine. But we have seen this over here. Now, when this actually occurred, this bullish candle here, we would have been in this trade with our stop loss just below here. And we was aiming for a take profit of these highs up here, which I did draw for everybody, which was a supply zone. If not, you had a Fibonacci level over here from a daily aspect, which I've shown people how to draw before, of all the way up here. And remember, we only want a 1 to 4 trade, but this actually ended up being a 1 to 8 trade. Can you imagine that, guys and girls? So it was double what we needed. You could have grown your My Forex Funds account by 8% just on what I gave out right there in the group for free. So even if you had maybe 2-3% losses, you would have been able to gain back at least 5% on your account or more, depending on how you took this trade setup. So guys and girls, I've pretty much covered it, and this was how I made that $1,000 trade. I hope every single person can understand this, and come on, let's try and get this video to 500 likes. This is an absolute full idea of a strategy that you can take on from day one and perfect and become better and better at. And I hope every single person can understand this. If not, and you struggle some more with this, I go over this every single day / week in my one-time fee VIP group, which is $24.99 at the moment. That is in dollars. And all you have to do to gain access to that is hit me up in the links below, which lead you to my Discord or my Telegram, and you're going to be able to message me and sort out payment for that service. Don't forget, guys and girls, do all the stuff you need to do to make this blow up on YouTube, and let's get these pips. It's your boy Big John, and I'm out. Peace.
Started from the bottom like Drake. Got that young moolah, but I learned my mistakes. Climbing up the ladder, gotta watch out for the snakes. If you wanna be the boss, then you have to delegate.